You are now listening to the Lexicon Podcast. Now, let the show begin.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Lexicon Podcast. This is episode 29. I was reminded that I keep on saying I'm wrong, but it's okay. I've been corrected, and I've actually corrected in the last one. The last one was episode 28. This is episode 29. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Yay, it's Friday.
Long weekend.
I know, long weekend ahead of us. And as you mentioned, we do have the 30-30 episode coming up. I don't think I'm gonna call it that though. Depending on, unless we have like nothing good in the episode as far as like a title.
Unless we have a dirty topic, but we don't.
Yeah, we don't. I don't think we're gonna have one. I don't think that one's planned.
No.
Dirty topic.
Like dirty topic as in like, how was the longest you got without showering? That's a good one. I'm not gonna answer that one. And just to let you guys know, this is going to be our first podcast. It's actually sponsored, so I want to thank our sponsor for today. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Lexicon Podcast. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Listen to on the road. Right after you listen to this podcast, you know, our podcast at once a week, you can have a whole book that's like more than 30 hours to listen to. So you're going to check that out. Again, thank you, Audible, for sponsoring this podcast.
Yeah.
Whew.
I love books.
I know, so do I.
Plus, who has time to be reading a book sometimes? You know, when you gotta commute for an hour, you could just listen to us, and then once you're done with us, for the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've mentioned before, like the reason that we hold this podcast, like the first reason was it was an excuse to hang out and just talk, and then my wife wanted a reason to sit down and drink and have adult conversations. Now that we have a baby,
blah 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 blah, mama, papa, an actual adult conversation and shit.
So I mean, listen to podcasts, then listen to Audible afterwards. Like I said, they have a lot to choose from. Lately, I've been in a slump though, because like depending on what time I get off from work, like traffic hits me harder. So what I've been doing is like, other than listening to like the different podcasts that I have, like I'll go back, and then lately I've been on a binge, and like I've been listening to like Dungeons and Dragons podcast because it's storytelling.
God.
Because like it's just like I like it because people go in there and obviously they create their own stories and stuff like that. And I've never played. I've always wanted to play, and I'm just like, fuck, man. Like I want to be a nerd.
I'm surprised you haven't played that.
It's hard because you got to get a bunch of people together, and then obviously in my neighborhood, it was always looked down upon to be a nerd.
Do people actually like dress up like that too for events?
They don't have to. That's role playing, like LARPing stuff, like live action stuff. And then this is just like people sitting down and like reading obviously all the stuff. Like
I'm surprised they haven't done like a dirty movie off of it.
They did.
Dungeons and Clams.
Yeah. What? This is why I don't let her name the top hat, the podcast topics at all. Like I don't let her name the podcast for this reason.
Clams.
Each episode title is brought by me.
I wonder what Freud would say about that.
Oh my god, dude! No, as is, everything has a dirty like. This is not the dirty topic.
I know we're not there yet. We're getting close.
This is not dirty topic, but every single like thing that you can think of that's been mainstream has been made into a porn parody at one point or another. Like right off the bat, like like
elections.
Yeah, like all the Avengers stuff is coming out, like and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like all that is parody. Dungeons and Dragons video games have been made into porn stuff. Like anything they can think of, because
you
obviously
can find Mario and like Princess Peach, like getting on and stuff.
Yeah, so like
if you look hard enough and you believe.
So like Dungeons and Dragons isn't like specifically people like dressing up. That's like Dungeons and Dragons is just people getting together and playing. Like everything comes out of the mind. Dressing up is other than cosplay, which is like the people who like dress up as to like the photo shoots and like model the characters and stuff. The people who usually dress up are doing LARPing or like live action role play, which is like they actually go out and like do like battles, or they do like Ren Fair stuff and stuff like that.
Just like acting, pretty much.
Yeah. So like Dungeons and Dragons isn't that. You get just a bunch of friends meeting up together. And then I've always wanted to play, but like again, in the neighborhood I grew up in, like it was always looked down upon to be like a nerd.
Unless you go to the library.
I mean, but even then, like a lot of people that go to the library here were just going to pick up a book or go to the library because they wanted to print something out, or they have like a actual computer at home. Like, yeah, like the library itself had a lot of like options for you to sit down and play games. Like at one point they had this one person who was volunteering there or working there that was like doing a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, that's where I played Magic the Gathering. Like, I mean, that's like the only place that I could play because like nobody else around, again, around my neighborhood would. So like that's where they would congregate. Yeah. And then, but it's because there was this one librarian, like herself. She's the one who like she was like a geek. And like, so she took it upon herself to do it, and like it brought more kids to there. It's funny because at that time, like the library was full of kids, obviously because they wanted to go play. They had the video game time, like you had to do your homework first and then show it off, and then you got like 30 minutes to play or whatever. What? So like, yeah, they would do that, like the library, and then the sheriff station did the same thing, like the little.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so like the sheriff station was like a lot of like.
There's all these resources that like. Were untapped. Like that, yeah. I mean, obviously you tapped into it, but like I didn't know about that until I was an adult about the sheriff station. Yeah. Yeah,
so like the sheriff station, I used to go there all the time because I used to play. They used to always have like the PS1 or like the PS2 whenever first came out, and then obviously like we would go in there and we would all be playing, but we would have to show up for the first hour. You would do homework, like nothing but homework, and or if you already did it like in 30 minutes, whatever, like you would show it off, and obviously like. For me, most of my homework wasn't difficult for me, so I would do it, and then like I would be like, "Hey," and they'd be like, "Ah, you're fine, dude. We already know." But like other kids that struggled, it was like their excuse to kind of get them a tutor, because you know, like tutors aren't really looked upon as a good thing. Even when you go to college, like people are like, "Oh my god, you're gonna go to tutoring? Are you dumb?" It's like no. Not till I got to college that I really realized like tutors are I never
got a tutor.
Oh, dude, it was one of the most helpful things for me.
No, the one time I had a tutor was not even a tutor. I went to go get my paper checked because we had to as part of like
the assignment for English paper.
For an English paper, and I was so mortified because of, like when we were in high school, at least me and you, like we were pretty good writers. We were good, you know. No one ever told us no. Because our teachers were pretty badass.
My grammar sucked though. My grammar is the worst. Yeah.
But still, they trusted us. Yeah. And so when I was in college, they're like, all right, cool. So you got your paper, cool. So now you're going to go to this building, make an appointment with this person, and they're going to go over your paper. And I was like, excuse me?
And they wouldn't accept it. They wouldn't accept that you didn't go to a tutor.
Yes. They were like, you didn't go to a tutor? We can't grade it. And I was like, I'd be like, what the fuck? What do you mean? I don't want anyone to look at my words besides my professor. And yeah. The time that I had to go, I was fucking mortified. And it was the funniest reason. Like, I would be so nervous. And I'd be like, he's just going to grade my paper. But I'd be weirded out by it. I didn't like it. And then I was supposed to go to tutoring for stats. But then I ended up really liking it and not needing tutoring. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Accomplished.
Yeah.
When I first started taking physics, like, I like the first, because okay, I'm really good at math, like I can understand it, but for some reason physics wasn't clicking with me, like it just wasn't. So like I started going to tutoring. Like at first I was like, I don't want to, like in myself, I'm like, I'm not dumb, like I can do this. But then one of my friends was like, yeah, I go to tutoring all the time. I'm like, dude, you're so fucking smart, like you get this, and like that's your major. He's like, yeah,
there has to be something wrong with this, man.
And then so like because of him like telling me like, hey, it's because it's a stigma. It's like the whole stigma in like your neighborhood. Like, hey, you got to go to see a tutor because you're dumb, or you got to go see a mentor or whatever because you can't hack it. But in the end, like it's a resource that we don't have.
Yeah.
So it's like it was honestly like
that's
we're gonna talk about.
That's probably one of the reasons I don't like group projects and shit.
Oh yeah.
Because like all throughout high school it's just not like that. And if you had a group, it'd be with your friends and it'd be like, no problem. But then you're in college with all these fucking strangers and you have to get together on a fucking weekend?
Oh, man, I hate it.
Oh, my God. Fucking unheard of. I fucking hated it. I never did one, thank God. But, like, we were able to do it always online or, like, by Google Docs or something. But, fuck, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, no, so, like, I like, untapped resources are a big thing. So, speaking of resources, just a random tangent, and we're going to come back into what we were talking about before we started the podcast. For example, your local library, at least in LA, I know a lot of states have this as well. If you want to learn a vocation or you want to learn something new, there's always a lot of programs they offer. And then one of the things that I recently learned last year, because I hadn't gone to the library, this is why. When I was younger, I returned a book really, really late. And as a little kid, you're like, oh my God, I got to pay. I don't have money. Like, I can't go back and read the book.
Actually, that looks bad on your credit score.
Yes and no.
My sister, when they were trying to purchase a house, that came back to bite them on the ass.
Yeah. So yes and no. So I recently went back last year because I knew I owed.
Fucking book.
Yeah. So like I knew I owed. I went and they're like, oh yeah, you owe $20. I'm like, okay, I paid it off. So it's fine, but it does come out on your like in your credit score.
I don't have any outstanding books, but that's fucking shocking.
Yeah, she's like, we still have the books.
Well, I mean, if you're a little kid, like if you're a little kid when you rent it doesn't come out. It's when you're an adult.
After,
after
you're 18, then they put you on a clean slate.
Yeah, because they can't do that to kids. Yeah. Like it's fucked up.
No, that's why I was like, what?
That'd be fucking petty. Like if we're gonna today's topic is pettiness. Like,
yay, petty!
We're gonna get into it, but like that would be like really petty of like the government to do that. Yeah. But they don't.
Remember that? Remember when you thought you could read Macbeth and you didn't? Fuck you. Your whole is $20.
The tell two cities because you need it for school. Gotta bring it back.
No. Same thing like when you're graduating.
So like one thing that I don't know as far as resources, obviously everybody goes to read books and then to use a computer and everything. Mm-hmm. But you know, there's different things online that people offer, like Coursera or you know, different stuff like that. The libraries offer you a free Lynda.com membership. Which
Lynda with the good hair.
Lynda with the good hair. And the things I didn't know. And then for me, somebody who's doing like, you know, we're doing the podcast. Obviously, like a lot of it is to learn to use different things with like Adobe or like, hey, I need help with Excel for work. You know, hey, like I'm using Excel a lot, but sometimes I don't remember all the shortcuts.
Yep.
So, like I go in there and then normally it's $20 a month or whatever. This is not an ad for Lynda.com, by the way.
This is for your own good.
Like, you know, like Excel and stuff, people like, you know, you need it for like accounting or whatever. And some people don't know all the shortcuts because honestly, if you don't think you need Excel, you're not going to take an Excel class. And then you think it's a waste, like honestly, but it's not. Like, you know, it serves different purposes for different things. But Lynda.com has like different courses. I'm not going to vouch for them and saying that they're all amazing, but you do learn stuff. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes, you know, you go in there, you learn shortcuts, and instead of paying $20 a month, just go to your library. If you don't have a library card, just go to the library, get a library card, and all they need is your library card number and the PIN number that you made, and that's it. And it's a free Lynda.com membership. So, hey, it's a free resource. You learn stuff, use it. Like for me, like I said, I use it for content creation and stuff. So, being a resource.
I know that they do like accounting.
They do. Well, they don't do accounting specifically. They do like Excel and Microsoft. And I haven't looked into everything because, again, I've been focusing on like learning. Like, hey, I want to learn how to do different shortcuts in Adobe Premiere or whatever. And obviously, again, not saying that they're the best, but it's a lot better than a YouTube video where people don't know like how to teach. You know, some people don't know how to teach and they're like, oh, I'm gonna make a YouTube video because I want to teach people, but I don't know how to teach. So I'm just gonna lay it out there how I learned, and it's always like jumbled. And here it's kind of in order. It's all videos and stuff, but you know, you learn. So it's
pretty cool. I heard about it. I have never used it yet. I say yet because I'm lazy as
it takes time. So, like I know. Like some of the courses, like some of the courses on there, like are like 30 hours long or whatever. But it's because they try to make it like an actual course because they're getting paid in the end. Yeah. So they're trying to like give you that benefit of what you're paying for the money.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I wanted to throw that out there for you guys, especially for those guys, you know, those of you guys that are in the hood like we are. Use every resource you can because people don't know about it and it goes unused. And if you don't use it, you end up losing it. So just
you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, so today's topic is pettiness. Obviously, like we mentioned before, some states, like I think they do, like they were trying to get like little kids to pay, and I was like, they ended up just like taking that back, like every $1 or whatever, because they're trying to teach them a lesson.
Isn't there a Seinfeld episode about that?
Seinfeld, I'm sure. Seinfeld is literally a show about nothing and everything.
I think there is one where he owes like the fucking library Tropic of Cancer or something.
Yeah. And it's the funniest thing. Like a lot of adults obviously are scared to go back because they don't have money to pay for it, and that's what happens here in the hood. Like people, you know, they go because they try to use a computer and they want to read a book, but they forget, and it's like, so they're scared to go back. But the thing is, don't be scared. Go with them. They'll help you. They work out with you.
They know where they work.
This like turned into an ad from like
I know. They know where they work.
It went to like reading books in libraries and stuff like that. But yeah, just do yourself a favor. Go to your libraries, check them out. People always say, I want my business to be like a Starbucks, but you don't. You want your business to be like a library. There's more libraries in every corner than there are Starbucks. It's literally a government rule. Like they have to have more in a radius than a Starbucks is allowed. So
and it's free
unless you owe them money.
Yeah.
But go back, they'll help you, and then you'll be good to go. Or just be like me and try to get a D&D game somewhere where they all meet up. Make friends.
I saw one of my middle school buddies there. Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was like 21.
I was playing Magic the Gathering. That's where I go play Magic the Gathering.
So cool.
Yeah, because it's you know, it's nerddom.
I haven't been to fucking library in a long ass time.
Yeah, because
probably since CSUN. I mean, that's a CSUN library.
Because it's when you do your nerddom. It's like where it's accepted. You know, like people go there. That's why I used to love the CSUN library because it was so quiet. I loved it. The fact that I could shush people when they were talking. I was like, yes. I would go sleep there too, though. So, you know.
Hey, that could be a place to go nap during your lunch hour.
Yeah. It is.
I would go study and like do a big ass block, and in between just nap in the
except for midterms and finals, because people will wake you up and kick you out of the cubicle because they want to study.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we gotta study, bro. Like, get the fuck out.
Studying in my dreams.
And they like leave the fucking library. Well, back in the day, it used to be open like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then when the furlough started, like when we started, is when they started cutting down the hours, but they would still be open late. I don't know how it is now, but and then they do the whole big pancake kickoff for finals. I never fucking went.
I went once. Every time there was free food, I was like, I don't got money. Let's go.
I never went. It was because the pancake one started late at night. It was convenient for those who were like dorming. And those who had late classes, but for me, nunca me tocó. So I was like, oh.
Like, there was a couple of times, especially when I was taking, like, business law. Like, my class would be, like, I would have my last class at 3. Mm-hmm. And then I wouldn't have any other class for that night, but I would stay there till, like, 9 p.m. or whatever, just studying. It interested me, so I was, like, for me, it wasn't hard to learn. But, like, when I had physics, like, I would go to tutoring, and at first I was like, I have that stigma, but then after a while, I'm like, this helps me.
It does.
I shouldn't feel bad about it.
I never went, but the one time I did have to go and get my paper.
Mortifying.
But it was the guy. But the guy was like really cool. I think the guy kind of like knew.
They know
because he was like, "Oh, you could do this, you could do that." Blah blah blah. He was crossing things out, and every time he crossed something out, I was like,
because you don't know, right? Like, you don't know how bad it is. Like,
no.
Like, again, we come from a place where
piece of you who kind of dies. Like, that's my words.
Like, you come from a place where everything you do is exceptional or it's good because of the fact that you are trying. You are
you're doing it in the first place.
And then here you go, and they're like, yeah, everybody else is doing it too. Like, you're not the only one. Why? Because they're paying for it.
Yeah.
But then I remember when I went,
and it discourages some people. Luckily, it didn't discourage me, but like I can see why some people that do go to college and like not end up finishing, it's a little tough.
Yeah, I mean, I knew some people that went the first year and they dropped out. I mean, they had their reasons, but it happens.
It does.
I don't like
and
being
it's not
judged.
for everyone.
I mean, it's
like being judged.
College isn't for everybody, and okay.
It's annoying saying it, and I feel bad saying it, but I know I get it.
See, I want to have college as a topic, like university as a topic on its own, because it's a whole thing I can go into.
Is.
And a lot of it, a lot of it is just because you're not prepared.
Yeah.
And then we'll leave it at that. We'll bring it up someday.
Mm-hmm.
When
I'm better, during back to school season, we'll talk about it.
When I'm better educated to talk about it, I think I'll bring it up. Yeah. But,
true.
Yeah.
Got anyway. Good personal stories about that too. So
yeah. So do I.
Right.
So.
Anywho, back to pettiness.
Hey.
So today's topic, pettiness. We were talking earlier just about what are some of the pettiest things you've done, and I think that it's a good way for us to kind of look back upon ourselves and be like, I maybe shouldn't have done that. Do
we know what petty is?
You want to define it? Because
I will, just because when I was talking about it to a couple of my friends, and this is how we kind of came up with the topic, they had trouble like understanding what it really consists of.
So funny enough, when I looked at it, there's the regular definition, and then there's the Urban Dictionary definition. And most people nowadays will consider it.
And if you Google petty, those are the first two things that come up.
But the thing is, when people look at the regular definition, it doesn't really explain to it.
No, it doesn't translate well.
It doesn't. I tried doing it through that. I'm like, I know I've used petty before. I've used that word before. I'm not stupid, but...
Yeah, I just want to know exactly what it is so I can make sure I'm not dumb when I'm talking about it.
Exactly. Like, people use it and throw it around.
We know it in the hood context, and I mean, I also know it in, like, petty cash context.
Mm-hmm.
So... Dictionary is of little importance, trivial. The second definition is of secondary or lesser importance, rank or scale, minor. The Urban Dictionary definition for petty is making things, events, or actions normal people dismiss as trivial or insignificant into excuses to be upset, uncooperative, childish, or stubborn. Yes. And yeah. A person who habitually overreacts, an immature overreaction and retaliation of an undesired outcome. These are pretty good definitions. So yeah, that's pretty much what petty is. Any questions?
No, I mean, honestly, I looked it up too because, like I said, I knew what petty was in the context, but I didn't know the exact definition of it. So I think that's good because it's always good to learn a new word. We should make that word of the day thing. Every time we have a podcast.
Today we've learned a word.
You never seen that meme of that guy dancing to that song? So there's this guy. I'm sorry, I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. But he dressed up like in a cheerleader outfit with like, and he's black and he's like has like ashy knees and stuff, and he comes out with like a cheer squad, but it's just him multiplied. And he's like, I'm petty. And then he does like this whole cheer about being petty.
Am I going to have to find this and put it in the video?
You probably are. I'll help you because it's one of my favorite videos.
It'll be in that corner.
Yeah.
Click it.
All right. Don't make it that crazy because if I can't find it, just know that I don't have time.
I will help you find it. Every now and then when I want to like laugh about something, I will look that video up because it's funny as fuck.
Like if I can't find it, Lynda.com, I'm not on that course yet. All right, relax.
But yeah.
I'm barely at 32.
Chapter 30. I'm still in 1.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. So for me, I had to kind of think about it. Do you guys have like any examples you guys want to talk about right away? Yours, I want to kind of leave towards the end though because it's about me.
I'll give you mine, which is simple.
Okay.
Which I thought was like pretty fucked up. It's a pretty short story, but it's like kind of funny. So, a lot of you, a lot of the times I mentioned that one of my brothers is locked up, and he would have these like fucking parties regularly, no occasion, like full on conjunto in my backyard, like fucking annoying. I work the next day kind of thing where I'm like exhausted and this fucking party's going on in my fucking house that I don't want. I don't want to be a part of it. Like it's going on and it keeps going and going and going. 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m, se amanecen. Oh my fucking, I would get so fucking pissed off about it. So one day I took it upon myself to put an end to this madness. And I wouldn't be that fucked up. I would let them like go till 2 a.m. But then I'd be like, well, if I were at a bar, I'd have to go home by now. So what I started doing is calling the non-emergency police line. I don't even know what it is. I have it saved on my phone, but
411?
No, it's this whole 800 number. I think.
Okay.
We'll link it.
No, I won't. No, because each city has their own.
Yeah, each city has their own. So I like Googled mine one day at night, and I was like, fucking annoyed. I think this was probably 2 years ago, around this time, because he was celebrating his birthday, and I had to go to work the next day. He threw this party on a Thursday, and it was 2 a.m. I called the cops and told them that someone was disturbing the peace and that there was a party going on, and I complained as if I didn't know who the fuck these people were. I told them where to go. Party got shut down within like 10 minutes. It was great. It was amazing. So once I discovered that, whenever he had a party, I would just let them go till like 2-ish. Just start calling the cops.
Did they ever know it was you?
I told him eventually. I told him and like the rest of my family a couple weeks or a couple of months before he left, then when he got locked up. And they weren't surprised, but they also were kind of like, it was you this whole time. I was like, mystery so while you guys thought I was sleeping, which I couldn't because it was fucking loud, I was calling the cops. Yeah, you're fucking damn right. And I would call, and I think at one point I was so annoyed because the cops took longer than usual. I called and I like did a different voice. I like called,
hi guys. Hi guys.
Yeah, and I was like, I think for the second voice I was just more groggy, and I told them like, I must have exaggerated.
Don't
something.
lie, you use a Bane voice.
I wish, dude. That's like the best voice. I wish. But yeah, that was my petty story, and I love telling that story because people are like, "But it's a party." I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If I gotta go to work the next day, like you're not fucking with my money. I'm gonna wake up in the morning and I'm gonna make sure you feel it too. So then I also would wake up in the morning and like play loud music while everyone's trying to go to bed and shit. So.
Okay, so with that, I have two. The first one was against my dog, or my brother's dog, Rosie. So my brother has a dog, or it's our family dog, but it's technically his, because they got it for him for his birthday and stuff. So you know, I literally consider it his. I've always wanted my own dog, so it's like until I get my own dog, that's gonna be my dog. But this is a family dog, so obviously we love her to death and everything. But she is still like 2 years old, 3 years old. Anyway, my parents went away for the weekend, and I was like dog sitting her. And she's very attached to my brother because she's always like with them and everything. Mm-hmm. And my brother wasn't there. So in the middle of the night, she would start crying. And like he's not here. Yes, it's that
easy.
Yeah, like obviously, like it's a dog. I can't do anything, right? But like I would like open the door, let her, like she would get comfortable around us, like and sleep with us. And then like every once in a while she would start crying because she was looking for my brother. Yeah. It's like, dude, like, you're already here. Like, you're sleeping at the foot of my bed. I can't let you sleep to my kid because, like, he was getting, like, little, it looked like he was getting little bumps. So I don't know if he was, like, allergic or if it was, like, a little,
you
like,
don't want to risk
he's not used to it and stuff like that. Like, he hangs out with her and everything, but they never slept together, which is, like her different. Next to each other and, like, for, like, long hours. Yeah. And then earlier in that day, they has like he fell asleep and she came because she missed my brother and she loves my kid, so and she's very protective. So she came like at next to his feet and she fell asleep. But then he had like
cutest thing ever.
It was adorable, but he had a bump in his face afterwards, and I was like, does she have fleas? Like,
yeah,
you know. So as a parent,
but she doesn't because it went away after like an hour.
Yeah, so I don't know what it was, but the thing is, as a parent, the first thing is like, oh shit, you know, I'm scared. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that wasn't really what threw me off. What threw me off was later on, after obviously she was crying in the middle of the night. One, I don't get enough sleep as it is because, you know, our kid gets up like at 2 or 3 in the morning because he's hungry, he wants a bottle. We give it to him right away, so he falls asleep within 5 minutes. But the thing is, when you get when you get interrupted sleep, you don't feel as good the next day. So obviously, having a kid, that's why they say, you know, you're not gonna be able to sleep. He's great though. He sleeps throughout the night except for that one time that he wakes up because he needs that bottle. But with her crying, I was afraid that he was gonna wake up even more. Obviously, I couldn't sleep because I'm not used to her crying. So I'm like, dude, shut up. Eventually, like, she ended up falling asleep, whatever. But the next morning, I was pissed because I was not able to sleep. So obviously, she's a dog, so they sleep whenever. So she'd be like on there. We have a little couch. She'd be like knocked out or whatever. I'll come by and just like, pah, kick the couch. So she was like scared. And then I was just like, my wife's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, fucking waking her up so she knows how it feels. She's like, it's a fucking dog. And I'm like, I don't care.
Oh my God.
If she's sleeping now, guess what she's gonna do at night? Fall asleep. So I got like every time I would like see her falling, so pah, like just smack it.
It was treated just like a kid too. Like you can't take a nap during the day, honey.
And this is
you gotta go to sleep all night.
So this wasn't the only instance with the pet that I did it to. When I first, like, you know, me and her like moved in together and everything, she has a cat. That cat is used to falling asleep with her. And not just that, but the cat is being used to let her like at 4 a.m. to eat, you know, because that's when he was used to eating.
He would literally go to the window if he was outside and knock.
Like, be like,
to get in,
bitches.
His mom
fucking hungry.
No, his mom.
Feed me.
His mom used to put her little paw in between the door and shake it so it would sound like somebody was knocking. Those fucking cats are too much. Dude. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like she would put it in between and then she'll move it and then it'll sound like somebody's knocking.
So I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm sorry for those of us who are listening that are cat people. But I am not a cat person, which makes it even worse. Like I love dogs, but you guys already know how I treated that dog. Obviously, I didn't do anything bad to the dog, but that dog was sleeping. Fucking kick. I would slam the floor or like throw a book down or whatever, and like make sure that dog was waking up. I wasn't gonna be like gentle, like, oh my God, wake up. No, I'm fucking waking your ass up. So you know how it feels. So anyway, the first time we moved in together, the cat 4 a.m. that first night starts like, I'm like, what the fuck was knocking on the window? And then she's like, oh, that's my cat. And I'm like, what do you mean that's your cat? She's like, yeah, that's my cat. He wants to come inside it because he's hungry. Okay, so she goes and she like opens the door. She calls the cat over. The cat comes running from around the window and goes inside, you know, goes to eat. And then like 30 minutes later, he's like knocking on the door again. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, he wants to go outside. He's like, he's done. He goes outside, use the restroom or whatever. Leaves him outside. And I'm just like, this is the fucking worst. Like, you can't. Do not open that fucking door for that cat anymore. And she's like, but that's what he's used to. I'm like, well, he's gonna use something else. Guess what? If he can't eat at 4 and he has to wait, guess what? His body's gonna start slowly changing at 5, 6 o'clock whenever we go to work. Anyway, next day, same thing. Fucking 4 a.m. Fucking cat scratching and like. I wake up and I'm just like, do not open that door for that cat. And she's like, but he's hungry. And I'm like, hours, fine. But he's hungry. So she goes and she gets up and I'm like, all right. So she goes, she opens the door for him, obviously. And then the thing is, this cat was asleep throughout the whole day. So I think this was the weekend. So this is a Friday to Saturday morning. So obviously you want to sleep in on Saturday. Yeah. So I slept in afterwards, obviously, but it was interrupted sleep. It wasn't as great. So anyway, I woke up. I go outside and, you know, we eat breakfast, whatever. And then I go and I see the cat sleeping on the couch. Like, you know, like todo bien arregladito. I go in and I just slam my foot on the floor. Bah! The cat just jumps up like, oh shit! Like, you know, and then she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like the cat didn't let me sleep. Gonna feel the same wrath I did. You see the cat, dude. The cat's like bobbing its head, you know, like because they're sleeping, going to sleep, and I'll be like, and I go by and whap, just like slap my hands together. That cat did not sleep all day, and at night he was like knocked out because he couldn't. He didn't sleep all day. I don't care. I was gonna feel the same pain as I did. He's gonna feel the same wrath, and he's gonna fall asleep when I fall asleep.
Oh my god!
Sorry, Nyao.
I hope PETA doesn't like fucking fall this and shit.
Again, I didn't do anything to the cats or the dogs.
That fucking cat is evil.
Yeah.
He pissed on my feet once because I wouldn't open the door for him.
Oh, the cat is petty.
The cat is fucking petty.
Oh,
like
shit.
I was really knocked out because I had gone out the night before, and the cat was with me asleep in my bed. He calls me to go and open the door for him to get out. I'm like, nah, fuck this. I turned around to sleep. He fucking went straight to my feet, pissed on me. I got up, pissed off. I slapped the shit out of his butt and got him out. I didn't pay attention to him for like a day or two.
I don't like cats. I just don't like cats.
That cat
I never owned a cat, so I'm not. I mean, I like all animals.
I mean,
but if they're being assholes,
obviously,
that cat's an A.
Obviously, like I'm not gonna like physically do anything to them or like whatever. You know, but they're waking me up. Guess what? They're getting woke up too. I don't care. Shit. I've done that to like my.
Like over there looking at Zeus, like oh.
And again, I don't discriminate against any animal. Any animal that does it, they're gonna get woken.
No animal was harmed.
No animal was harmed, but they sure as well wasn't asleep either.
Oh my god.
Hey, that shit's petty as fuck, dude. It's like I don't wake up grumpy, but that shit pisses me off in the middle of the night. I can go back to sleep, but I know when I wake up, I'm gonna be sleepy the next later on because I didn't get my full sleep. Yep. And obviously, now that I have a kid, I don't get mad at the kid. But if that dog like had been crying and woke up my kid was gonna be grumpy. And that means he's gonna like be like wanting to throw like little tantrums and stuff. Cause again, he barely turned 1, so they're not like my kid doesn't know how any other thing other than hey, I want that, or hey, I'm hungry, hey, I'm sleepy, hey, I'm using the restroom. Like literally those are the only things where any like if he's like at the brink of one of those things, you better know he's gonna start crying or like get grumpy or like throw like little fits and stuff.
Or throw shit at you.
But like he doesn't.
Like he's learned.
Because the thing is he
or slap your hand.
No, right now he's getting the habit of throwing. You know how I was talking about like he's throwing with his hands, so I make him throw with both hands. So obviously, like if he finished a bottle and he'll go like this. It's like, hey, take it, or hey, I want more. Pretty much like freaking 4 rooms over here.
Bartender.
And then
he does that in the middle of the night. Like he'll finish his bottle even though he's like really sleepy, and he just like ma.
And then we take it and he goes, and then he like he stretches and he rolls over and goes to sleep. But if you don't get it, he'll just throw it.
Oh my god,
so you pick it up.
So
but if he sees us picking up stuff and putting away, he'll go and start putting away stuff like little kids.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the bottle or food, he'll like eat it and then he's like done. He goes like that. And if you don't get it like within like the first minute, he'll just like my hand's getting tired. He just throws it away. So.
Horrible. Oh my god.
But it is what it is.
I think that your family dog went through hell that weekend that he didn't have a family.
Man, that dog was.
He would cry so much that I had to go change our son's diaper. So I preferred to go change his diaper before I paid attention to her. Left her alone. Turns out she was crying because she had to go to the bathroom. So guess who had to clean after her? She was crying so much that I kind of got tired and I put her outside to cry more so I won't hear her. I couldn't. I'm just like, I know you miss your buddy, but we're here. But you're still crying.
It's the first time that I
we weren't being mean to her either.
No, it's just the first time that
taking care of her, but
it's just the first time that I realized that she has separation anxiety, and I never knew that because again I don't hang out with her. My brother has independent studies, so he's home a lot of times, and she's always right next to him. And because my brother, when he was younger, he had a lot of anxiety, and obviously the dog is there to help him. And again, they always say the dog always takes a lot of your troubles away. Well, because my brother's not there, she's scared that he's gonna have like an anxiety attack or panic attack or whatever. So she's like really attached to him because of that. And you know, we love the dog for that because he's calmed down a lot of because of it. But she has separation anxiety herself, and I had no idea until this. But because of that, we don't know how to deal with it.
Dogs are very susceptible to that shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to Zeus for being chill as fuck.
He freaking turns over and knocks out.
Yeah, like right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
he looked like he wanted to get up, and I was like,
I know you were looking at him, and I was like, should I be looking at him too?
Yeah, all he's missing is a little 10-inch TV. watching TV.
Yeah, so like now that I realize that, I told my mom like, yo, the dog has separation anxiety. Like you gotta like help her out or whatever. Obviously, my brother got home fucking happy as fuck. Why you didn't tell her?
Like and then they were packing to leave, and she flipped. She throwing tantrums. She knew they were going away. Yeah.
So like, but now like whenever I told her like when you leave, until you fix that, like you help her with that, you cannot leave her here.
Give us some chill pills. I give him. Doesn't like loud noises. His name is Zeus. Doesn't like thunder. So so I have to give him chill pills. I call them chill pills, but they're just calming aids. They work. For like last week's party that we had, the backyard thing that we had.
Give him a little bit of wine.
He was good. He was nice all day.
Oh my god! And speaking about being chill, guys, don't forget. This episode is brought to you by Audible.com.
Fuck yeah.
For you, the listeners of the Lexicon Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their services. One of the books that I listened to recently, actually before the movie came out, because I didn't really know the movie The Martian, and then I heard like a lot of good things about the book, so I was like, I don't really have time to read. So, because I would get home and then hang out with my kid and stuff like that, and so I said I'm gonna go on Audible. I've always heard good things about it. I have Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is like, hey, Amazon Prime has all of this shit. Like, check out Audible. And now it's under Amazon. You're like, oh crap. So then I started listening to The Martian, and I really do recommend The Martian on Audible, because like you see the movie and you read the book, and then you start noticing that it's like literally like a vlog. Like it's him like reading, like putting stuff into a diary, like into like the thing. So when it's an actual audio version, so it sounds like he's like reading the diary to you. Like he's there, like listening, and like right every day is a new thing. Like, hey, page turns, like, hey, this is the day or whatever. Like, and then he's like reading his stuff, and then it's the book version, so it goes into detail of everything. So it's like, it feels like you're listening to him tell you his story, because he's stuck in Mars, and you're like listening to the radio broadcast, or you're listening to his diary broadcast. Like after he came back or whatever, he's retelling you like everything that he went through, and he's like reading. So I really like The Martian on Audible. So like I recommend you guys checking that out. Again, you guys get that that free 30-day trial. You guys check it out. It's pretty much a free book for yourselves, and you guys are good to go. That's one of the books I definitely recommend. There's more we recommend, but obviously we'll save those for later, because
stretch those out.
We want to give you guys an opportunity to listen to more. But The Martian, even if you've seen the film, I recommend like reading the book, or like definitely listen to an Audible, because like I said, the way he talks to you and every single detail that he goes into, you start thinking that you know how to fucking survive on Mars yourself. So like that shit, like I was like, I can't do this because I'm not as smart as he is. And obviously him being like, a botanist was like a whole big thing, because he's... of all things...
That's cool.
Yeah, like of all things, he's a freaking botanist. So he knows how to grow shit with plants and everything. So obviously he's able to survive.
Tight.
And again, guys, don't forget to download your free audiobook today. Go to audibletrial.com/Lexicon Podcast. I'll put down the link. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Lexicon Podcast for your free audiobook. Go check it out. We definitely appreciate it. Again, thank you so much, Audible, for sponsoring this podcast. Sorry, I heard chill. I had to kind of, segue into it. I'm going to have to start learning how to segue into these, these sponsorships. I got to segue with it all. All right, so we did talk about, you and your friends were talking about pettiness stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories you want to share?
I do. I'm having trouble like deciding which one, so I'm gonna go with the one that I found was like, damn, bitch.
Okay, don't worry, we're not gonna say any names.
We're not saying any names. But I'm gonna like try and build this story as I know it. She was with this guy for probably, I'm gonna say maybe 2 to 3 years, and they ended up breaking up. She was upset about it because I guess he ended up cheating on her, and she was kind of like, all right, then fuck it. You don't want to be with me? That's fine. I don't want to be with you either. Go our separate ways, whatever. But she was still upset about it, as most women would be. I guess the girl that he was cheating on her with was pregnant, I guess, with his kid or somebody else's kid. That part I don't know. Point is, the girl he cheated on her with was pregnant. So one day on her way back from some trip, she ended up having to pass by that town, that city. So she thought of a little plan on her way back. She was like, well, I'm going to go to this fucker's house. And I know she's living with him now. So I'm going to go by and just tell her to leave. And I was like, telling her to, why? You don't.
That's random.
You don't do that. I thought you guys were going your separate ways.
I thought we were going apart already.
Yeah, so she ended up going to that guy's house while he wasn't home. I want to say his little niece. I think it was his little niece, not his little sister. His little niece happened to be there and answered the door, and she knew, she had a good rapport with her. Like, they knew who each other was. She was like, hey, so-and-so, like, you're here. And she's like, yeah, I'm here. And she's like, who's here? And the little girl tells her, like, oh, it's me and what's her face? I don't know these people's names. And the other person there happened to be that girlfriend, the new girlfriend. So she's like, oh, okay, cool. So she ended up going inside the house and confronting the girl and telling her, like, you need to leave. And she was like, what are you talking about? And my acquaintance was like, yeah, you need to leave. You don't belong here.
Oh my God.
He's like, I got a call from what's his face. He told me to tell you to come over and leave.
Oh, so she was acting like the friend that got sent over to kick her out.
No, not the friend. She knew who she was.
Oh, so they knew each other.
They knew about each other.
I thought she was like playing
the girl living at that home knows that this is hers. Yeah, her boyfriend's ex-girlfriend. And she's like, yeah, so-and-so called me, told me to tell you to, pack your shit up and leave. And she started helping her pack.
Okay, that's fucked up because obviously we don't know the girl in the situation.
Yeah. But the fact that she's pregnant is like...
Yeah, that's the fucked up. But
petty as fuck.
But, but I get it.
But
because,
she
cheated
closure.
on her.
Yeah, so she continued with that and she got his little niece to help her.
Oh my God.
That's fucking funny. That's
I will shake your hand for doing this because this is...
She got the little girl in on it. The little girl was like, oh, so-and-so's leaving. You have to help her pack. And the little girl was like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's help her pack. And it got to like shouting matches. And my friend ended up being like, well, you know what? I don't know why I did it. I did it. I looking back on it, don't know why I did it. I was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
So she ended up doing that. She ended up kicking that girl out of his house or whatever the fuck that situation was. But that's fucking petty as fuck. Who the fuck does that?
But that's a fucking story for the age. It's like, so once I helped pack this bitch's shit. Oh,
and I told her, like, why the fuck weren't the cops called or anything? She's like, I was lucky. Like,
like, okay, so shout out to your friend for getting revenge back because she got cheated on. I mean, I feel bad for that pregnant girl because that's hormones going on. She feels helpless, and then this like random ass. Well, I mean,
not random.
Like this ex girl comes in, like she's like, "What the fuck do I do?" I guess she's like, fuck, man, that
takes a cake.
Crazy.
That fucking takes a cake.
Fuck, man. You guys don't know her, but don't ever. If you guys ever like start dating this girl, don't cheat on her.
Especially, don't get that girl pregnant.
We won't say who she is, because but still, don't cheat on anybody. Because shit like this can happen.
Yeah.
Not violent, but fucking psychological shit.
Yeah.
Again, man. Be careful with Gone Girl. Shit crazy. Shit is crazy.
Go back, listen to that episode.
Man. But you know what they say? People who are like that, they attract each other. So. That's crazy.
No, believe me, I had a whole mess of thoughts coming through my head when she was telling me this story.
Dude,
I was like.
I won't lie though. If I was there listening to this conversation, I'd be like, "Ooh, tell me more."
Yeah, I was asking her for details. I'm like, when was this? What was the day? Like, where were you?
What were you wearing?
Like, why was she driving by?
Yeah.
Like, do you stalk his house like on a weekly basis, or was it just that's crazy.
Joe, just for story's sake, she's moved on. Has got a career going.
Yeah, this happened last week. This week she's fine. Like, don't cheat on people. I mean, it's true though. Like, don't cheat on people.
Yeah,
like,
hey, you want to be with someone? Fucking tell them. Get the fuck out of there. Life is short, dude.
Amicably break up.
Yeah.
Go your own separate ways or whatever. But don't cheat on people. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna fuck up people's lives. Like, even if it's for a little bit, it's still a wrong thing to do. So.
Yep. Lessons learned.
All right, babe, I'm gonna let you tell your story.
All right, I've been waiting for this one.
I've kicked your ass. I've kicked you out. I fucking have done so much shit to you in my dreams because I have weird ass dreams of you cheating on me.
I don't know why.
I started thinking about this.
You jumped in so fast. I was gonna be like, start telling the story. I'm gonna go get another beer, and I can't go now.
It's the story. It's just.
Dude, so I okay. Before you continue.
Okay, go ahead.
So she has.
I'll let him
dreams.
talk before I kill him.
She has these dreams, right? And then she'll wake up the next day mad as fuck at me, and I'm just like, okay, what the fuck did you dream this time?
This often?
It used to happen more when I was pregnant.
Hormones, okay. I guess.
Could be.
Anything against it, but
when in doubt,
hormones. Anyway, again, I've never cheated, never will, because I'm scared. But yeah, she was like,
I've stabbed someone before
with the pencil. Fucking stop! It's elementary class. Relax.
The guy that I saw in Yu-Gi-Oh, the guy from the library, he even showed me. He's like, "Oh, I still have it." I'm not psycho.
Oh,
continue.
Man. Anyway, so like, I want to say real quick. She gets up, she gets mad at me, and she's mad at me, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do? And then eventually, like, she would start telling me, oh, I had dreams, and then now when she gets mad at me and she wakes up, I'm like, the fuck did I do this time? Oh my god. So anyway, continue.
It's that bad. Like, they're really, like, if I was living them, which is crazy. But
like, vivid as fuck?
Yeah. I guess it has to do with my past. That's probably the reason why, because being in love, it kind of, like, backfires sometimes. And I'm like so into love you, daddy. Anyways, I think that's what it is. I call him daddy. He calls me mom because we want our son to know who's dad and who's mom.
No, I know my parents do the same thing, but I'll never get over it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like
we do that because it's easier for him.
I think that's probably why I call my parents by their names.
Oh, okay, because you know how
like nicknames instead of like mom or dad.
Because like you know how last like the other podcast she said, oh, you know, I'm not mom to her or whatever, because my mom calls my sister like mama, and then so now when he says mama, he doesn't know it. So like obviously, like, oh look mommy, and he's like, so we're trying to teach him, but yeah. Anyway, continue.
That's it. I just have like fucking random ass dreams of him fucking doing something
what's
stupid.
What's the petty part about it? Like how do you
being
treat him
mad
afterwards?
The next day, when you wake up, that's what she wants to hear. That's the petty part. How do you wake up angry at me, and what do you do? I
don't do anything. I just tell you, don't fucking get near me because I'm fucking cooking and I don't want to burn the fucking food. Or
so you verbally get like upset and like you take it out verbally. That's fucking funny as shit.
Well, this is why though.
Do anything physically wrong to him, but I will talk crap or say something negative, and he'll be like, "You're mad. I'm out." Yeah, he's like, "You're mad. I'm out."
Best thing to do when your significant other is mad, if you know that they're mad for like dumb shit,
walk away. Whatever that is.
It was a dream. I didn't do anything. It was a dream, so it literally is dumb shit. Like, just walk away, because there's no winning the argument, because there's no argument to have. Like, literally. So anyway, the reason that I wanted her to tell her story, and it's petty, is because I now find it funny that she gets mad at me in her dreams. So when she wakes up angry, I can tell. Like, I can tell her body language. She's very easy to read for me. At first, when it started happening, I was like, okay, what did I do? Like, what like, and I started telling her, like, what caused you to think this? Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Obviously, like, and then she started telling me, oh, it's my past. You know, I've been cheated on before. Obviously, like,
petty shit.
You know,
one of the guys that cheated on me, his excuse was he was high.
Not an excuse.
That's a petty ass fucking excuse.
But so because of that, you know, homegirl went to the girl's house to kick her out. She just has dreams because obviously she's like, she really, obviously she loves me and I love her. It's still
scary kind of love.
Yeah, you know we're married and everything, but obviously, you know, when you get fucked up by somebody or something happens to you, you're always gonna have it in the back of your head. Yeah. So like now I find it really funny, and I think it's really petty because now that she gets up and she's angry, I start fucking with her. Oh, like man. I don't fuck with her.
Oh my god.
No, I don't fuck with her as far as like, oh look, I've been texting or whatever.
I know.
Like, no,
exactly right.
No, we know better.
Not shit like that. I don't take it to that extreme. But like she'll be cooking and I'm like, oh, give me a hug, give me a kiss, and she's like, the fuck away from me. And I'm like, no me quieres? Like, you don't like
god.
And that gets annoying to her because I started babying her, and that's like she hates being babied as it is. And then so she'll be cooking and stuff like that. Like, but when she's angry, like, you know, she doesn't want people.
If anything, I'm the one that's over here like trying to hug him and give him a kiss and shit. He's like, get away from me.
Yeah, she tries to be like really, like she comes in, like she starts kissing me, and I'm like, stop.
You want something from me, huh?
Yeah, I always tell her, ¿qué quieres? Like, you want something. But I've always told her the reason I do that is because I know the more, like, when she does it, like, I let her kiss me and I kiss her back.
The reverse psychology.
But then I push her back, And then like eventually, I'm like, I know she wants more.
He's busting a gone girl and shit.
I gotta neg her on.
Wow.
Then the baby happened and shit. And...
Yeah, so it happened when she was pregnant, but I guess she was scared. Having a baby, first kid. Obviously, I'm here, and I will always be. Because I'm scared. Like I said, I love her. Don't get me wrong. That's like number one is I love her. I love my family. But like number two, I'm fucking afraid. I'm just saying. She stabbed people with the pencil before. There's still a mark. And he can have lead poisoning. We don't know. But just look at her face. She's not that innocent. Scary.
Sorry, dude.
I love you, babe.
Oh, it's so nice.
Just don't go to sleep. Because then you wake up mad at me. Yeah.
Be like this.
It's funny though, because like she'll be asleep or something, and I'll try to wake her up because like something's happening, or like, hey, you need to get up or like move because you don't look comfortable, and she like slap my hand away and like she's sleeping. I'm just like,
He started waking me up to go to the gym in the morning. I'll slap the shit out of him like.
not
like that.
slap the shit out of me. Slap my hand away.
Yeah. It's just funny.
For her, like how I get really like we were talking about pettiness and I got really mad at like sleeping. Like she is like a grumpy like person if you don't let her get her to sleep.
That's how I am.
Like fucking crazy grumpy, dude.
You talk about dogs not letting you sleep, like my nieces and my nephews that come in the morning sometimes. This happened more frequently when I was going to CSUN and working. I would get so fucking pissed. I would like get up, I would come out and I would yell at them as if they know. I would be like, "Do you have to go to work today?" No.
Oh man, I did it to my sister.
And then I'd be like, "Shut the fuck up."
I did to my sister. I'm like, dude, you gotta go to school tomorrow. Like, because when they had that furlough week or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have that shit.
And I'm like, you gotta go to school tomorrow. She's like, no. I'm like, well, I gotta go to work. Shut up.
Yeah.
Like, turn off the computer, turn off the light, whatever. Just go to sleep. Now I'm turning off the power, turning off the Wi-Fi, turning off the internet, like all that shit. And she's like, oh. My dad's like,
but
yeah,
I'm
that
too
kind
lazy to do all that shit, so I just.
Mine's easy. Like I already know how to do all that shit. It's already on my computer. Just like click, click. Because I have my router settings, so like I know whose IP address is like from the computer or the tablet. So I can literally disconnect their shit. Like I don't have to worry about disconnecting the internet. I just disconnect their shit and just put it in the morning.
Love it.
That's petty.
That's petty. That's another petty one. I did that too for my niece when she first got her. I think she got her phone. She doesn't. I mean, no kid fucking below 18 years old needs a phone. But like,
my kid has a phone.
She has a phone, and so
I knows how to turn that shit on now.
Horrible. And I ended up changing the password and shit for her.
That's funny.
Yeah.
When we were living like together at her mom's house, like her nieces would always come over, and like during the random weekends, and then they would be like up like really late at night, like laughing and shit. So eventually I just put on a guest password for them, and I only let them go from like freaking what was it, like 9 a.m. to like 9 p.m. 9 p.m. the internet would shut off for them. They wouldn't be able to get on anymore.
Love it.
Like, man, fuck that. You guys are really fucking loud. I gotta go work the next day. You guys don't, but I do.
Or you can always call the cops.
Hey, you're on your own house. We used to have a neighbor who used to call the cops at the whenever we had a party or the neighbors had a party, like by fucking 10 p.m. they would fucking show up.
That's too early.
Like,
I mean, I gave them till 2. Like.
Yeah, we've had that like in our neighborhood, like people.
Yeah.
So what we do like in the neighborhood is we invite everybody in the block.
Yeah.
Nobody shows like nobody that's like doesn't know us is. They know us because, like, whatever. So our parties are fine. But, like, our neighbors don't do that. They don't go to every house and, like, hey, we're having a party. Come get some food. Aunque sea. Like, get some comida, whatever. They don't do that. So their parties get shut down. Our parties are fine.
Yeah.
Our parties, because everybody either comes by and get some food, or sometimes they just come by, drop a present off, get some food, because they know my mom. My mom, obviously, she's a stay-at-home mom, so she, like, knows everybody in the neighborhood or whatever. And the school, so, like, they'll come by and, like, drop off food for them. But for other neighbors, 10 o'clock, fucking 11 o'clock, cops.
Yep.
And we're over here, like. But then again... If it's the last week's podcast, after 11 o'clock, I go inside the house. That's a story for another time. That's an inside joke.
I guess I have one last one.
Sure. Is it about me?
No.
Oh, thank God. I'm sorry. Damn. Go ahead.
I haven't fallen asleep yet.
Sounds threatening. That sounds like I want to fall asleep now.
My mom had a boyfriend back then. Came to drop off money because he owed her some cash, and they had already split up by then. I was so mad that I told him, vete la chingada. And when I said that, my mom was pissed. And then I kind of thought about it. I'm like, yeah, that was some fucked up shit. That was petty.
How old were you?
I was older. Yeah, but I felt bad because it's my mom, you know? I'm not going to need no fucking ex-boyfriend that, you know, with his past to come by, drop out some shit. Fucking wire that shit. I don't want to fucking see him in the house. Sorry.
It's okay. You're getting angry. We're gonna stop you right there before you break any of the extra stuff that's ahead of Mike.
Yeah, but that was some petty stuff for me to actually lash out like that on someone that was dropping off cash outside of our door.
Yeah,
I did something similar to that.
Yeah.
You did?
Well,
Tell us.
Yeah, with my brother who's locked up now. He had his going away party. And I know.
But if you call the cops, you're just gonna take them earlier.
I know. And that last time didn't call the cops. That day I was in fact too tired and I actually fell asleep.
Oh, that's good.
But at that time him and his baby mama weren't clicking and she dropped by to like pick up some bullshit, literally bullshit, like, oh, you guys have those manteles that are mine and I need them, and some other some bullshit just that she needed to pick up. And I came outside just to make sure that everything went smoothly, and I ended up like confronting her because she left and then came back around and like kind of was just outside in her car talking shit. And I tried telling her calmly, like, I think you should leave. Like, I told you this wasn't gonna be nice. Like, just leave. I told you. Like, I had this whole conversation with her months before, like giving her the heads up, like, look, this is how it's gonna be. Can guarantee you this is how it will turn out. And it did. And she got upset, and I kept telling her, and she started complaining and getting louder, and I was like, bye, you need to go, bye. And she started driving away, and I was like, thank you, bitch, bye. And apparently she got very offended by the word bitch. I don't know. I could have called her something worse, you know, but she got offended by that, and she was like, she wanted like to get out the car, and I was like, well, then let's go. And mind you, I was in a towel.
Of course you were.
Super ghetto. I was in a towel and my PJs and like my flip flops, and I was out there like regulating. Like, might be my brother. He might be my brother. He may be getting locked up, but you will not ruin this fucking party for him.
Mount up.
So yeah, I can see why. Yeah.
And with that, before we get even more angry, because Jesus, I need to take the mics away from them before they break them. That's going to be the end of this podcast.
Hit me with another beer, bartender.
I'm afraid now. I'm scared for my life. Please help.
Call 1-800-SAVE-ALEX.
But again, guys, let us know your stories as well. You know, don't let us be the only ones. We want to hear your stories as well. It's what fuels us to talk.
I have more stories from other listeners, but these were like the best ones.
Yeah, we'll probably.
That was the cream of the crop.
Yeah, we might end up doing like petty part 2.
Yeah, we might.
Send us your stories.
We'll bring it around.
Obviously, we won't say your names.
Yeah.
Today.
We'll keep it anonymous. We'll keep it anonymous.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys want us to share, though, we will. Like, you know, it'll be funnier. But yeah, just bring us our stuff. Maybe we'll do like a whole podcast episode just on like pettiness from like comments and stuff and people that send it our way. So, you know, write in the comments or you send us an email at lexiconpodcast@gmail.com. Just send it there and we'll have it. But as always, I like to let you guys have a place where you guys can find us on social media, talk to us individually or talk to the podcast. Where can they find you, Angie?
You can tell me your petty stories on Snapchat at Angie_Ness. That's ANGIE_NESS.
And you'll find me on Instagram under Liz_thebiz.
And as always, guys, you can find me on Twitter at exclusively_Lex. You can actually support us financially if you can for $1 or more. Just go to patreon.com/Lexicon Podcast. We have some great perks for you guys. You guys can hear the next episode early, a week early, you know, before the general public. $1 or more. If you can't support us financially, though, it's okay. Just go ahead and listen to the podcast. Leave us a 5-star rating if you're on iTunes. It definitely means, you know, it means a lot to us. We'll go ahead and read out any like reviews that you guys have. We'll read them out to the, you know, the podcast crew. Give you guys a shout out. And as always, guys, share with your friends. Let them know what's up. And as always, thank you again to Audible for sponsoring the podcast.
Thank you, Audible.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.